All right. Thank you, everyone, for returning for the afternoon session, panel 3. My name is Anastasia Panesci. I'm the project manager for the International Dunhuang program at the British Library. And it is my great pleasure to welcome our distinguished panelists for this session, which is about social, multimedia, and third-party content platforms. So our first talk will be our sponsor talk on Bloomberg Connects with Cheryl Kwok. After that, we'll be hearing from Joe Vaughn talking about life after X, how Twitter's favorite museum left Twitter. Then Lucy Hinney and Francesca Farmer will be coming on stage to discuss going open with Glam E Lab and Wikimedia, developing tools for open culture. Following that, Kat Rowley, who will be speaking on creating affordable and accessible interactive video experiences. And to round it off, we have Sean Toogood speaking on delivering Digital Reach Project Roundup and YouTube. So if you have any questions, there will be a Q&A at the end of the presentations. But first, I'd like to invite our first talk for Cheryl Kwok on Bloomberg Connects.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Afternoon session, final stretch. The pub is in sight. Stay with me, please. So my name is Cheryl Kwok. I'm a member of the team here at Bloomberg Connects, and for the next 10 minutes or so, I've been told, I'm going to be talking a bit more about who we are, what we do, and how our work ties into the theme of this conference of seizing the tech. So Bloomberg Connects is a key project of Bloomberg Philanthropies, a foundation of Mike Bloomberg's personal giving. This foundation focuses on giving in 5 different areas, that being government innovation, public health, education, the environment, and most importantly, arts and culture. So all this to say, our story starts with Mike Bloomberg. Now, Mike, being the well-known philanthropist that he is, every time he goes to a cultural institution, he goes to a museum, he's always greeted by the museum director or senior curator, and he's given this amazing behind-the-scenes tour of the premises. And so one time, he was at the Met Museum in New York, and as a New Yorker, he knows this museum very well. He's been there many, many times. And the then director came out and gave him this amazing behind-the-scenes tour with amazing insights. And afterwards, Mike turned to this director and said how he was fascinated to have learned so much about a museum that he had been to so frequently before. And so what we actually did was we took this director, put him into a recording booth, and got him to record the exact same tour that he gave Mike Bloomberg. And that became the first 100-stop audio tour for the Met Museum. Now, Mike, realizing that this information was not freely available to everyone, that kind of set the occasion for Bloomberg Philanthropies' investment into arts and culture. Not only arts and culture, but promoting digital access to arts and culture for about 30 years. And that's how the foundation for Bloomberg Connects was born. So we were born in 2019, and here we are 6 years later. Hello. So here are just a few of the amazing institutions that we get to work with. We have a few in the room with us today, so we're very happy to see them again. And now, more about what Bloomberg Connects is. Can I actually do, there we go. Technology, here we go. So what actually is Bloomberg Connects? So Bloomberg Connects is a dedicated platform or a portfolio app hosting all sorts of digital guides for cultural institutions all around the world. So we're quite broad in terms of what we define as a cultural institution. It could be a museum, could be a gallery, could be a garden, public space, for example. We now host guides for aquariums and cemeteries, for example. And all of these institutions are sharing one interface. Now, for those of you who are disinclined to download yet another app or who simply do not have any more space on your phones like myself, hot off the press, we're now available on web browser as well. We Our aim is to provide an enhanced visitor experience for all our visitors coming to our partners. So we do this by including a range of multimedia, so audio, video, maps, images, text, for example. And ultimately, we are built for all. So what Bloomberg Connects does is we create all the tech and the infrastructure. And all our partners have to do when they create the guide is to focus on the storytelling aspect of it. And I really want to emphasize this because as a third-party app, you may think, oh, as a partner, I don't have that kind of control to just change what's on the platform. That absolutely isn't the case for us. We provide our partners with all the flexibility to tell their story, to be able to change it as necessary, to update it when they'd like. And that's something that we think really helps give them that freedom to be able to express themselves in an authentic way. We have currently around 1,200 partners on our platform all around the world, and that is currently growing day by day. And ultimately, one thing to emphasize is that we are free for all. So this app is free to use both for the users and visitors who are visiting our amazing cultural partners, but also for our cultural partners to participate in and join. This is a very key part of our philanthropic mission. Now, technology is a huge part of what we do. It's heavily ingrained, and we ultimately see it as this vehicle for increasing access and democratizing access to arts and culture. So here are 4 ways in line with the theme of this conference, 4 ways in which we're seizing the tech. Number 1 is storytelling and communication. Now, every single museum has a story to tell, whether it's about a person or an object. And so getting this content across to a wide variety of users is incredibly important. How we do this in 2 ways. Number 1, we have our multimedia content embedded into the platform. We really encourage our partners to consider creating content that's not just text, that's not just from text copy and pasted from a website, but to think about all the different ways in which users may like to engage and learn with this content. So whether that's audio, whether that's video, for example, and we provide the resources necessary to help them achieve that. Ultimately, when our partners come to us and they like to build their guide, we encourage them to really talk to a wide variety of people who could bring their voices into this platform and create this guide. So, for example, whether that's a senior curator, museum director, a visitor experience assistant, etc. We want to bring them in and to be able to tell their story and tell what they think about their institutions as well. Second thing is accessibility. And so when we think about accessibility, it's not just about, we are a free platform, free for all, here you go, take it away. But accessibility is really the key of how we build our platform. So our platform is compatible with all sorts of iOS and Android accessibility features. So for example, screen readers and keyboard support. We require alt text for all of our images, and we also provide complementary transcription services for all types of audio and video content. Ultimately, while working with our designers, both creative and user experience, we ensure that our design on the app and on the back end is user-friendly and taking into account such as font sizes, colors, etc. That's heavily ingrained in how we develop our platform. Now, multilingual comes hand in hand with accessibility. So at the request of all our partners worldwide, we now have over 50 languages available on a guide. And so how we manage to do this is whenever a user comes to a cultural partner and scans a QR code to open up the guide, whatever their phone setting is set on, language-wise, the guide then opens in that language. Now, for our cultural partners who are perhaps based in countries with multiple native languages, we also offer the opportunity for them to use human translation as well. And that's always very clearly emphasized, the difference between whether a guide is Google translated or human translated. Third thing, data. We know data is incredibly important to our cultural partners, and we're very happy to be able to provide another layer of data that helps inform how our cultural partners how audiences are engaging with the content and moving around a site. So you can see a few examples up there. For example, how long are the audiences looking at a piece of work? Or how are they moving throughout the venue, etc. We also have a team who is equipped and on hand to provide that support in terms of interpreting data, in terms of content creation for the guide, which can also help make larger marketing, curatorial, or audience engagement decisions. Has that changed? Here we go. And finally, marketing. Now that we're growing globally, hopefully you'll have the chance, or you have had the chance to see one of our global marketing campaigns. Our most recent ones were in Paris, in London, in Amsterdam, and in Japan. So we have our marketing team essentially acts as an in-house marketing agency that encourages and helps our partners in terms of organically promoting their guide. So whether that is on-site or offline, so for example, offline, we run lots of social media, digital media campaigns on site, whether it is, needing a postcard printed, a poster, a bookmark, for example. Our marketing team are also available to provide these resources and this support to all of our partners to help them promote and advertise their guide. Now, ultimately, all of this is wrapped up with participation in a network of cultural colleagues. And that's something that we're really proud of, is the community that we've managed to build consisting of all our cultural partners. Our community is global, and we include both on and off-site, online and on-site assistance for our partners. So off-site, for example, we do a lot of networking events that our cultural partners are encouraged to join. Online, we host a lot of best practice webinars, for example, or different types of events. We have different channels in which our cultural partners are encouraged to meet each other, to discuss best practices, to troubleshoot issues together. Ultimately, when we provide all these tools, so all the tools I mentioned just now, whether that's storytelling, that's accessibility, that's data or marketing, we don't just want to provide the tools, but to provide the support and resources and skills required to use these tools effectively. And it's ultimately our hope that as our cultural partner joins us and goes through the process of developing a guide, that they're able to learn how to better use these tools more effectively. We give them the skills, and hopefully that they can take these skills elsewhere. There's so much more I could say, but I can see the sign over there. So thank you very much for your time today. My team and I are around, and you will have probably seen our booth already. So please do stop by, say hi, have a chat. If you'd like to know a bit more, please scan the 10,000th QR code you've seen today. And if not, we also, by the front desk as you're leaving, we have a few of our information pamphlets put inside our tote bag. So if you haven't got one yet, make sure you pick one up before you leave. Thank you very much.